I'm Bad Brya. I live and work in Amsterdam.
I'm on my way and I don't know my destination. All I know is I'm trying to get some inspiration.
I was asked to make a rap about gender studies for the University of Utrecht. Why not? But, gender studies, I have no idea. Something to do with feminists, women's rights, activists? I don't know. The next couple of days I hope to find out more. Today is my first appointment with Rosemarie Buikema, the head of gender studies.
Hello.
I hope she can give me some suggestions of who I should meet.
You should see the person who started women's studies in the Netherlands.
All right.
That's Rosie Braidotti. Does that sound
Yeah, that sounds good.
appropriate?
Definitely.
Rosie Braidotti takes me to a place where gender studies started more than 20 years ago.
It's like a time travel. We're back where it all started. They had just this attic that was free and they put us all in there. So that's the mad women in the attic, and that's what they called us. So people could say, yes, we have a gender program, but we don't know where they are. They're somewhere in the building. It was a good start. You know, 4 young women, a lot of excitement and enthusiasm. But it's very moving to be back here, I must say.
So here it all started.
Yeah. Yes, they should have a little plaque here, the glorious gender studies program of which it started.
Okay.
We didn't have a secretary, of course, but we had student assistants and volunteers. We did a series, You Would Be Happy, on women and rock. We did one of the first series on Madonna and how, you know, Grace Jones, those women of those days. And we went out into society and nobody had ever heard it before, that we actually study the condition of women through rock and pop. They thought that this was really outrageous.
Let's see.
I think that this is taken right here. You can see that we're a bunch of kids. We're really, really young.
Yeah.
Nobody would believe that we were professionals, and we kept saying, but we are. We really are.
Listening to Rosie, I realized that Holland was different in the 80s. People were so politically active, it must have been great to be part of it. But what made these bright young women decide to enter university, where obviously nobody was waiting for them?
We thought, how do we consolidate everything that we've learned in 20 years of activism? It was an enormous capital of experience, ideas, texts, strategies, fun, you know, intuitions, a huge capital. How do we not lose it? How do we preserve it? So the idea of the long march through the institutions, to change the institutions, to get the universities to become a more open, democratic place, a place that reflects society. The idea of having a university that looks like the world. I think that was the dream. And I think there we have succeeded. We felt that we were at the top of the world. They said we were the mad women in the attic. It's just a question of perspective.
Yeah, exactly. My next stop is at the International Women's Archives. I'm meeting Claudia Wecker. She's an anthropologist. She studied Black women's studies in California. She joined gender studies in Utrecht a few years after Rosie.
Well, actually, there was a sort of color blindness when I first got back to teaching in the Netherlands.
Yes.
Supposedly, color did not play a part. Supposedly,
Everyone is the same.
everyone is the same, absolutely. And you know, I fully had to deconstruct what was happening there and point out to people, look, it's not the case that gender studies can be thought of like that, because black women have been so active in putting forward a heritage of thinking about their own situation.
So it led to discussions.
It led to very deep discussions. We started talking about what would it mean if every one of the teachers in Utrecht would not only look at gender, but would also take race into account simultaneously.
Exactly.
Listening to Gloria, I'm starting to realize this is about me. In the music scene, it is no different. Too often, I'm the Moroccan female artist.
and at the same time a dirty game. People acting
Or the Muslim female artist.
Who's the one to blame? Backstabbing your friend to say that's the reason for that? That is
Race is an issue.
When these first waves of migrant workers came to the Netherlands, and including women, Turkish and Moroccan women, how hard they worked. Huh? Our representation now of Turkish and Moroccan people are that
women
doing
sitting
nothing.
home and doing nothing, just raising kids, and that's it.
Yes, and how it has been erased from our memory. How hard these women worked.
Yes.
Yeah.
These are beautiful pictures.
Really, they are, yeah.
What an inspiring day. This was not at all what I expected. I thought I would meet stuffy college professors. I was afraid I would not have a clue what they were talking about. But I connected with both women. When they were my age, they put up their fists just like I do now. Maybe you have a lot more in common than I realized. Bad Brya, the college professor. Can't wait to meet the students tomorrow.
on my way, on my way.